Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here, and it's March 17th, which means it is St. Paddy's Day. So I wish you lots of Irish yoga and namaste. So 23 properties today, and the best thing to do is to order them by price. Just click this button, and you can see by the map that one of these is way out in Peterborough, where it's mapped anyways. It's not there, but don't always trust the map coordinates. And I'll put a link down below to the map that I use, and you can overlay the even the snowplow routes. You can overlay the zoning. It's a great resource. So this one on Maple is on the 4th floor, which means that it's got the nice 12-foot ceiling. $262 for a 1+1 on that floor. Doesn't seem that far off, but there's no photo, so I can't really tell. We've got Mr. 3030 here, so 30 Heslop, number 30. It's at 309,888. Not many of the condo towns have sold over 300. If they do, they're actually quite nice. So that would be the criteria here is when the photos come in, does it look really nice? Well, it might have a chance. Once the first guy broke through, it's the same as the Roger Bannister effect, is that when he ran a mile in less than 4 minutes, what happened? It never happened in human history, and then in the next year, 23 other people did it. And that's kind of what happened with these, is once that breakthrough happened, I remember when they were listed with a 1 as the first digit, so that just shows how long I've been around for. So Fowles Court is 429. It's a Mattamy Village townhouse. It's 1051 square feet. There's no backyard, just a front yard with a balcony. And I love the street. I think it's a great street. You've got a tennis court and a park at the end of the road. There's a tenant inside here, so you can excuse them for having some stuff on the fridge and things on the counter. Don't love the photos, but this seems to be going rate for these models lately. They were a little bit depressed towards the end of last year. They were selling 305, 308, and then they had some sales in the 320s and sort of regained their momentum. So Sherwood is listed at 439. It's just under 1,700 square feet plus a finished basement, and this is one of those homes that elected not to put a shot of the finished basement. I think it's enough of a value feature that they probably should consider it. And it's a little plain inside. They've had some sales up in this range in the area. We sold one down the street for a little bit more than this, but it had better finishes. And so we'll see what happens. They're a little bit high. 850 Luxton. Comparison on the Sherwood home is it's about 1,600 square feet plus a rec room. So it's smaller, but it's got nicer finishes. The kitchen is more upgraded. They have too much stuff on their counter, which is an easy thing to fix. But you see everything in the photos. If you have like one of those little steps that you put beside your fridge, those show up. So you got to take that stuff out. It's a great floor plan, very open concept, big enough dining room. You've got a nice sized family room here. Everything flows really well, and then there's a shot of the basement. There's your master ensuite. So good stuff here. The bedrooms upstairs are all nice size, and you're on a quiet street. You're walking distance from Hawthorne Village Public School. There's a park just down the road here too. Great model. This is one of my favorite semi layouts, and 450 may be a little bit high, but it is possible. Manly is 459.8. We have a semi-detached 1,900 square feet plus a basement, and it's on a 136-foot deep lot. It's not that wide, but it's definitely deep. The layout is you almost kind of wind through this one, and then you've got your kitchen that overlooks a family room, or you could do a dining room here too if you wanted. And there's your yard. That's how deep it is. So it doesn't back onto Thompson or anything. There are some homes on Manly that do have that influence, but this one it looks like it's on the inside part. And we'll see what happens. It is possible. That lot is an X factor that sometimes they get the money for it, sometimes they don't, but it's unique and it's different, and that's always a good thing. Twist Road. So they have 8 shots of this one. It's 459. It's 2 acres, so you're basically 230 an acre. They showed this, but it has no context for where it is. At least putting a picture with the intersection would probably give people a little bit more perspective. So I'm always amazed when people put vacant land out. There's so much that you can do with your photos. So anyway, so that's that listing. $430 an acre is okay. It doesn't really make me too excited. Second line at $469. It looks like it might be on about a half acre. It looks like 20th side road in second. And I don't know, at this price you expect a rural property to kind of look like this. It probably needs a little bit of work. It's an older home. Yeah, that's electric baseboard heat on it. And it's like a 1.5 story. So there's definitely, get a good inspector on this one, because just the age of this home is going to come with its own little set of circumstances that you just don't find in a 5-year-old Mattamy house. Duncan Lane is a real interesting one. We don't see many of them. It's a townhouse, so it's joined on this side, but it's got a double car garage. It has a courtyard, so there's no real backyard on this one per se, but there's a wraparound porch. And what's cool about this one, even at the price point at $489, they've done the basement, they've got more than 2,000 square feet upstairs, and it's actually nicely finished. The nice thing about this positioning is that you can find someone who's maybe been looking for a detached around $550 with a double garage, and maybe they're not seeing anything they like. They can drop their price point, get the first digit be a 4, and then they've got they still have that double garage, and they just have to be joined basically on this side here. Being an end is a lot like being a semi in this case, in that you just really have that one shared wall. I think it's a cool property. The last one that sold, I think, was in the 460s, but it was a while ago. So with market appreciation and what they have there, they should be just fine. Farmstead is $498, and so it's 1,600 square feet. It's got a patterned concrete driveway. Nice part is you can park 2 cars side by side, which is the next best thing to a double car garage, and front dining room. And then you have a family room plus a kitchen, and there's your hallway, there's your dining room, so you can see how the whole main floor is laid out. 3 bedrooms upstairs is the usual, but this one has closed off the loft and made a 4th bedroom. I can see people that at 4 bedrooms under $500,000 that are going to flock to this one, but they're small rooms when you close that 4th room in. We've seen this model go all over the place. Some of them have listed up in the 5s, but they've had a tough time. A few of them sold in the 480 to 490 range last year. So we'll see what happens with that one. I think it's a good price point. Mary Street is $499. 66 by 132 foot lot is the kind of the standard lot in this area, in the real downtown. And like many, I believe that this part of Milton is going to be that sort of southeast Oakville, that real demand part, because of lots like that. So we've seen some pretty good appreciation in just lot value. Probably in the last 2 years, I bet you it's gone up at least 10-15% a year. And the lot itself is worth over $400,000. So I think that you're kind of getting the home. If you can work with it, that's cool. It says as is. But again, this one you want a good inspector, because anything before World War II, you're dealing with galvanized pipes in some cases, wiring issues. There's all kinds of different things. Even the structure. Today's homes are on it's a wood frame structure that supports the weight. These homes were usually the brick or stone that actually carried the weight of the house. Installation's different. The way they're built is completely different than a modern home, and so you just need to make sure that you understand all that stuff. Bowering is $519. It's a Powell model, front living dining, and then you've got your kitchen. Nice finishes, California shutters, stainless steel appliances. Nice little work desk here, so you can keep an eye on the kids if they're on the computer. There's your family room, and then it actually looks pretty good. They elected to do the same thing as Sherwood and not put a shot of the basement. There is a link to the virtual tour, but I think in that principal 9 shots, you should have a shot of a finished basement. It just makes a lot of sense to me. We've got this one on Macduff here, and it's the same model actually. It's even upgrades are comparable. I like the way they matched the wall with the cupboards and then had the accent of the black backsplash. Dormer windows upstairs, which is a nice effect. There's your basement with a home theater. So they're pretty close in price. Elevation on the previous one gets a little bit of a nod versus the all siding on here. But the nice thing with the all siding is you have this balcony that walks out from the second floor. We'll see what happens. They're both nice streets. Lederman is $549. It's like 1638 square feet. You've got a double garage, although the new versions of most of the double garages, especially at this size, is like 1 and 3/4 kind of thing. Like it's small car parking is what they put in the plans. They've put a bit of money in the kitchen here. But really what they're banking on is somebody's going to pay them for that, which is the park view. And Mattamy, I don't know what Mattamy charged them, but it's probably a fair bid because anything lot related now seems to be a big premium. But the home itself, like there was a beautiful version of this model that couldn't even crack $550. I think $549 is too high for this one. McDougall is about 2230 square feet. There is a single car garage, and nice because they've separated the living dining. So this could be a little kid's playroom or a home office. Then you've got your dining plus your kitchen over to your family. Now I'm not sure if it's the angle of this picture, but it looks like there's a very wide fridge here, which could be a great thing if you've got somebody who likes to cook. And then you have your pantry space there too. 4 bedrooms upstairs, and then standard 36 by 80 foot lot. That angle certainly makes it look nice and big. This model's kind of sold all over. We've seen a few of them with finished basements that have gone up at like $580, $585. And if you look at that, you'd think this one's priced well. There's been a few that are a little bit smaller that have gone for less than the $550. So let's see what happens. I think that's not a bad price at all to at least market to. Black is $635, so it's about 2,400 square feet plus a finished basement. And the finishes are nice. The kitchen looks good. The upgraded countertops. There is an in-between level here that's like a second floor family room above the garage. And then you have 4 bedrooms plus a finished basement here. Nice job in this one. This model, the Beaver Hall Opal, hasn't really sold up in the 635 range before. But this is one of the better ones. And some of the stuff that happened last year isn't always reflective of current market value stats. So when you look at what else is sold at this size in this finished basement, there are some other models and other builders that have gone up in 635 or even higher. 540 Bustle is certainly one of my favorite picks of today. It's $679. I don't know which model it is. It's got a nice main floor layout though. You've got hand scraped hardwood. You've got some good finishes in the kitchen here. Upgraded counters, upgraded hood fan. You've got the built-in oven here. Very, very nice. You've got the 4 bathrooms upstairs. So that means it's at least 2,500 square feet. And at that price, I'm digging it. I'm feeling it. So London is $700. It's 2,746 square feet. Mattamy Hazelnut. So you can Google any of the models that I tell you about, the Beaver Hall Opal or Mattamy Hazelnut. It's a good layout. And what I like about this one, it's clever what they did with the photos. That's your kitchen, nicely done. There's a little turret over here that's a good spot for an eat-in kitchen. And then they showed you the turret upstairs too. Very subtle, but very clever at the same time. And that's the backyard, which is pretty standard, 43 by 88 feet. And they've done a bit of landscaping. So see what happens. I've seen some good versions of this home sell for even under $650 in the last 6 months or so. But again, sometimes what happened last year is not reflective of today. Ruddy's $729. We're more than 3,000 square feet. There's an unfinished basement. There's 5 bedrooms upstairs, main floor den. That's all I can really tell you from looking at this one. Jelinek is $739. Mattamy built home. I think it's the Shade Bush, 3,008 square feet. The brick and stucco is one of the better elevations. I just don't have a lot of information about this one beyond the granite counters, pot lights, 9-foot ceilings on the main floor. So let's see what happens with it. It doesn't seem like it's really blowing me away at that price at $740. Rixon is $749.9. Now we're dealing with about the same size as the previous one. Well finished, and then you also have a finished basement downstairs. So again, no shot of that finished basement. I think at least 1 yard shot of one finished basement is a given, and then obviously one in the front. So you can kind of build in your mind, what would my 9 pictures look like if I was selling my house? What angles would they be? Because when I go through a house, I'm so trained to picture that as I'm starting to add up in my head. Okay, we do one from here. Tell the photographer what to do, and then you get a really nice gallery, a true representation of the best features of the home. This one on 5th line is $879, and it's right at 5th and Britannia, so there's a lot of changes happening in that area in terms of development. 150 by 250, and it's a good looking country home. 5th line is a little quieter than Britannia, and they have this thing here. I don't know why they built them so close together. Unless there was some specific purpose there. But price doesn't seem that far off for being as close as you are to town, but I would definitely check the zoning and check a lot of things that are going on around it. Meadowland is $975, so you're right in Campbellville, and where you are is you're right in this nice little, there's a very quiet street. If you don't live on Meadowland, there's no reason to go on it, but that's the 401 right there, so you're going to hear it for sure. That's the thing about that little section in Campbellville, is that there's very few homes that are the right distance away from both the train tracks and the 401. Sometimes with trees and things like that, you actually don't hear it as much as the home right beside you. There's some interesting sonic effects that happen. But I do like a lot of things about this home. You have to be careful with the age of these places, because they are right in that time period where some of them need new roofs and new windows, and you could really start writing checks for a lot more than you first anticipate. So pay close attention to that stuff. I love the look, that sort of Cape Cod look with the dormers. I think it's got a beautiful curb appeal. And that's the list for today. So that's 23 properties. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us either by email or by phone. You can meet us at Starbucks. You can come to the buyer class this Thursday, or you can join us on a tour of homes, and we run them 7 days a week. So have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.